Let's talk about NASDAQ and where it's headed in the next couple of weeks. In my opinion, it's bullish. Not just my opinion, I'm sure everybody can see that generally NASDAQ is bullish, right? If you look at it from the monthly time frame, weekly, even daily, all of the high time frames, you can obviously see that the market is trending to the upside. Now, before I get into where I think the market is headed, I'll just quickly show you an entry that I missed. It's a trade that I didn't take. I already had the analysis plotted out in the past and I didn't take it. I cleared it out because I wanted the chart to be cleaner. We could just analyze from scratch, right? But if you look at this chart now, you'd see I just put out a downtrend here, and you can see how this trend line got broken with a solid bullish candle forming and closing completely outside of the downtrend, right? That would have been my cue to go, because already I can know and I can see that market is completely bullish. So any major entry point or any major move that the market gives to me in the H4 or H1 time frame, I'll just go ahead and take my entry without thinking twice. So if I were to be taking this trade and I set my trade on a 1 to 3 risk to reward with my stop loss somewhere inside back in the trend line, I would have, hit my take profit. But I'm not here to cry over spilled milk. I actually just want to talk about where I think the market is heading in the next couple of weeks. Now, with the way the NASDAQ market is going right now, high chances are we are going to have a continuous bullish movement. But of course, we know that before market buys, right, we would have some drops, right? So we need those lows so that we can have an opportunity to buy low. But what am I actually looking at here? If you move to the daily time frame, I like to deal with high time frames. If you don't know, I'm a pure price action trader. My name is Zazie, and I trade with zero indicators. I look at the charts and I try to analyze the chart based on the data that the market is giving me, and I work with that, right? So all the way from the weekly, monthly, you would see how NASDAQ has been trending up for the longest time. So that's not even up for discussion, right? So if we keep looking all the way to that point, we would see, okay, let's break it down now. So from the weekly, right, I could put a line here to identify this previous resistance that was broken, and price came back in here to test as support, right? So you can obviously see that market should be going up, going to the up direction from here. Now, it tested it this one time, didn't completely get into the zone, but it came pretty close to it, right? And gave us a bullish harami candlestick formation here, did a breakout, and you can see how markets bought all the way here. Now price tried to come back again, didn't get into the zone again, and it went back up. Now we don't know, chances are markets will come back down, or price might break out of this resistance. If you see here, if you can see my screen very clearly, you'd notice that I have a price alert set here. I like to set price alert so I'm not stuck on my screen all the time, and so I don't also miss out on very great entry opportunities, right? So you can also make use of this if you don't have a paid version of TradingView. I don't use a paid version of TradingView though. I just use a free version. I said I think it only allows 5 alerts, but I have an app on my phone called FX Alerts that allows me, I paid it's a one-time payment, so it allows me to set alerts on any currency pair, any indices, as many as I like, right? So there's no restrictions once you pay, but they also have a free version you could try out, right? And if you like it, maybe just go ahead and pay for it. Otherwise, you could subscribe to TradingView, whichever one you think works better for you. But yeah, the reason why we're here is to sort of identify, where NASDAQ is headed, right? And as you can see, if I do a trend line here, you would obviously see, I don't even need to draw a trend line for you to know that this NASDAQ is trending to the upside, right? But now I'm going to take it down to the daily time frame to see it more intently. So if you look here, I can actually plot out, let me take out this weekly trend. So they're not too many lines on my charts. I don't like too many lines on my charts. I like when my chart is really clean, so you're able to spot out major points that you should be spotting out, not unnecessary, zones, right? So if I bring up my trend line and I do this, it also confirms to me I have an uptrend situation, a very good uptrend situation. So looking at this chart now, I can identify a couple of interesting things. On this daily time frame here, I spot out a demand zone, right? This is a very major demand zone, right? But chances are market might not even get the price. Did try to test it one time. It didn't exactly get into the zone, but you can see the market reacted at this level, right? And based on the reaction here, one could have also taken an entry from this point, right? But price gave us a reaction here, tested it for the first time, and then bought all the way here. So market seems to be coming back down now. So now it's one of two things, right? This is a very solid uptrend at the moment. we know that the original trend is a bullish trend, right? And then now we have a very solid uptrend that's given us like 3 major touches, right? So it's possible that price would hit the trend line again for the 4th time and then bounce back up, right? Testing all the way to this, high, to this current high right now. Or because anything is possible in the market, right? Price might actually just break out of this and maybe retest this demand zone for real, and from that point go back up, or maybe sell for a period of time. But I'm not really banking on it selling so much, to be honest, right? It's a very strong possibility that it might just, dip a bit and buy. But what I'm looking at overall, what actually confirms like a very solid bullish move for me, is where I have my price alert. If you see here, my price alert is placed at a point of daily resistance, right? I like to paint my daily lines yellow so that I'm sure I'm able to identify which is daily trend lines or lines that indicate my zones, right? I like to paint them yellow on my daily chart, right? So as you can see here, there is a major resistance right here on the daily that has never been tested, right? So it's either price does all the movements it wants to do around here and then comes here, respects it and sells or whatever, or ultimately what I'm actually looking for, what I'm hoping for, is for price to break out of this, give me a retest, and then I know that's all the way up. We keep going up, right? So I mean, we might not get that. We might not get that, to be honest. But I have my price alert set just in case market breaks it anytime soon. This is on daily chart, so it might take us a couple of days for us to get that move, right? But whatever the case, I'm still on this market, right? I can really just, spot out major zones where I expect some sort of reaction, right? So I'm really just looking at it to see if before price gets to that point, we might have another opportunity to get into the bullish move. That's very possible, right? Here we had a W, or a double bottom, right? And price playing around the neckline and how it bought. So this would have also been a very beautiful trade even before it broke out of this uptrend trade that I missed, right? So at the moment, I'm just patiently looking at NASDAQ to see how the market moves. There are a lot of possibilities with this trade, but all of the possibilities, regardless, still points to a bullish move for me, right? So I'm really just looking to see how far price moves, right? If it ultimately gives me that breakout on that resistance that I earlier mentioned, then I would have that very strong confidence to go in for a buy. If it breaks out of this trend line and maybe comes around to this demand zone to retest it, I might take a buy depending on how the candlesticks form around here, depending on the kind of confirmation that I get around here, but I won't be so big on it, right? Another zone that is actually very important is this zone here. I don't know what line this is, but let me just take it off for now. Another zone that is important is this zone here, right? Because this was once a resistance. It got broken, obviously. Price played around it, but if price comes to this point, maybe breaks out of this demand and comes to this point, this might now serve as a new support. But I'm not looking in that direction, to be honest. But then again, anything is possible, right? The market can give us things that we don't expect. So I have all of this plotted out now so that whatever the market gives to me, however way the market plays out, I'll be there to, sort of take the trade, right? So I guess what I'm going to do here is I would set an alert on this point here. So if price ever breaks here and then price eventually comes to this point, let me just put a line here so I know where to set it after this video. So if price ever breaks and comes to this level, then I'll be at alert and I'll be able to make a decision. This is also a very important level, to be honest, because this is a major demand, right? It broke out a previous high with solid bullish candles, so it's a major demand. Even though price did test it the first time, it didn't even test it. It was so strong a zone, price didn't even touch it, right? So if anything never makes price touch it, and it gives us that confirmation based on the candlesticks and the formation, I could, have some level of confidence to take a buy from that point, right? There are other points where things are likely to happen, so I'm not really counting on markets coming all the way down here. But then again, we know that anything is possible, right? We know anything is possible, so I'll just leave that spots highlighted just in case. But it's not really, I'm really not hoping that price does that, because if price comes all the way down here, it means I would have to wait so long for me to get a bullish opportunity. I don't like to go against the trend. Otherwise, I probably would have spotted out some really nice sell opportunities and taken a sell here, right? But I'm not about that. And if market keeps dipping, it means I'm going to keep waiting. Patience is good. It's good to wait, though, but I'm not sure I want to wait that long for price to actually come here before I buy. But if for some reason I have the strength to wait this long and then price does come here, of course, we know that there's a very high chance that we will get a reaction at this level, because this is a very major support area, right? So if price does come here for whatever reason, we will be looking out for the way the candlesticks are formed around here. I will be looking out for the way the candlesticks are formed around here. I'll be looking out for bullish candlesticks like the hammer, the morning star, which is one of my favorites. We'll be looking out for the bullish engulfing, the bullish harami, candlesticks like that, to see if there's some sort of sign that market is respecting this area as a support and it will be going in that direction. And a trade like this, you can only imagine how much profit will be made, because we should expect market to keep going all the way up. But then again, like I always say, anything is possible in the market. So do not, put all your eggs in one basket. Do not take 100% risk on any trade, regardless of how good it might seem, right? Always ensure that you risk whatever amounts you are willing to lose, so that if the trade goes south, you also don't, find yourself in a pretty bad situation, right? The market is very risky, so analyze your trades carefully before you make any entry decision. So this is just a little thing on NASDAQ. There's not so much to see here, to be honest. If we go to the H4 time frame, I've not really, taking note of anything major that would stand out for me here on the H4 time frame, because on my higher time frame, the major move has not happened yet. So when price gets to the point where I need it to get to, then maybe I would react. But for now, I'm not really phased about anything going on in the market. I think this zone to me is pretty insignificant. There's a possibility that price might react around there, but I don't really see anything happening there that really concerns me. If price reacts and goes to buy, good and fine, then I would actually want it to just break out of the resistance to give me a confirmation that it is really buying. And then when it gives me the retest, I'll just go ahead and take my buy. So I think I'll just take that off, taking it off already. So we're good. So now, NASDAQ on the daily time frame, it's a long-term trade for me, right? So I'd have to wait a couple more days, but I'm pretty sure that however way the market chooses to turn out, when I do get notified that my entry or the trade as price has gotten to my entry point, I just might take the trade. So if you would like to join me to analyze markets, if you'd like to join me to check out my trading ideas, to see what charts I'm looking at, see what trades I'm taking, feel free to join my Discord community. It's free, right? The link is in the description. So just go check it out, join it, join other traders that are very passionate about trading the market, and you could just talk about trading basically, right? You see a lot of interesting things on there, a lot of educational stuff too, and you'd also get to learn stuff about trading psychology, because that's also a very major part that affects a lot of traders today. So feel free to join the Discord, right, and be a part of our community. If you're just joining my channel or watching the video, if you're just watching my video for the first time, hit the subscribe button, and if you like the video, please like it, right? And then drop a comment. If there's any chart that you want us to check out together, let me know, right? And then if I have the time, we'll check it out, make a video, and just put it out here for you, so you could also drop your thoughts. So what do you think about NASDAQ though? What are your thoughts on NASDAQ? Are you saying the same thing I'm saying? Are you saying something else? I'd really like for you to share, right? I mean, just a reminder, I'm a swing trader. I'm sure you already saw that on my profile, but I'm a swing trader. So I like to think long term, look long term, take my entries on higher time frames and things like that. So you might probably be seeing something on a smaller time frame. I'm also curious to see or to know what you're seeing, right? What or where do you think NASDAQ is going to be heading in the next couple of days, in next couple of weeks, right? Share your thoughts with me. I'm actually curious, right? So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.